Welcome back to Jesters of Ravenloft, where a group of comedians try to escape the horrors of the mists. The troupe faced their trial and were found guilty. Shadow Nemesis was offered a place beside the Dark One, and when he refused, they were all plunged into combat in the dark. But New Rogue had distracted the Clockwork Watch earlier to smuggle their weapons inside. Tyler was led by the Reality Blade to Shadow Nemesis, who could see in the dark through the power of the Black Knight's helmet, and he realized that Ezra had intentionally sent them to find the 3 items that might let them win this fight. With Del, New Rogue, and Shadow Nemesis having been plunged into nightmares, Tyler left in the darkness, and Ezra nowhere to be found, can the troupe escape their sentence? I doubt it.
Hello, friends, and welcome to this week's recording of Jesters of Ravenloft. I can tell you things have already started absurd off-air during the warm-up. I do not know what is going to happen this episode, either as a DM or as a person, but I am so excited to have you all here. We've got our regular bands together. Adam is in slightly different circumstances, giving him the moodiest and most evil lighting he could possibly have. Look at that. He's just full Shadow Nemesis in name and in body.
And there he is. Back.
Like, yeah, good decisions. Like, ha ha
ha. All of a sudden, your helmet on and off sounds have a physical position and a lighting.
Oh, yeah. Oh no!
I won't do it now. Amazing.
We got to incorporate the. Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm getting mad now.
Getting bad now. Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. As you can see, we've got a poll running and we've got a vote running. So for anybody in chat, please check those out before everything kicks off. Our players are hiding their chats on the honor system. I mean, they're probably cheating, but that's fine. I will do a quick recap of everything that has occurred in Jesters of Ravenloft in case for some reason you are joining us right now with no concept of what this show is or what has led here. I have to hide chat because my brain melts if I try to read a single word while I'm talking. So we'll be back. But our 4 heroes, these lovely comedians before you, turned out to be the characters inside their campaign. They were the comedy troupe. They are the comedy troupe. Wet Change. They were performing at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival when they were drawn through the mists into Ravenloft as they swiftly and uncomfortably learned through a laurel crown that Tyler found in the woods. They were brought by Ezra, god of the mists, who needs their help to break Ezra out and to get themselves back home. But to do so, they would need to defeat 3 evil monsters, 3 evil, powerful captains of darkness before battling the Dark One of this realm. And the Black Knight, the very first champion that they saw, commit a bunch of murders and threatened to kill them the very next night. So our heroes were forced to set out and decided to face off with the Black Knight immediately. They made friends with Mayor Werner Herzog, the noted filmmaker and performer who had been accidentally drawn into Ravenloft before them. And he helped them negotiate with the local guilds so that they could get themselves kitted out with some appropriate medieval armor because they had shown up without pants, dressed like Chippendales dancers. Setting off to the temple of the Black Knight, our heroes battled their way through, befriended a bone horse named Rumple Foreskin by the Watchers. Noted character that's continued for 30 episodes now. Just having a time. Then they faced off with the Black Knight himself and eventually won their battle, though unfortunately along the way, Guy Bradford died. He was brought back by Ezra, but with none of his memories and with ghostly hands and feet that hurt anyone that they touch, which he has forgotten every week since we've started recording. At the same time, Adam was possessed by a symbiote that requires him to either eat brains or just waste people's time. And he wasted people's time one time and then really got into brains, and it freaked out the rest of the party. He also claimed the Black Knight's helm, one of the 3 relics that our heroes were told they needed to collect before they could face off with the Dark One at the height of his power. And he declared himself the new Black Knight and took over all the squires through a series of lucky rolls and the support of chat, at which point he sent them off to battle the Spider Folk, one of the other evil factions, and brought his own personal squire, Dr. Deputy Anna Truick Seraph, with him back to town. Our heroes were feted by the locals. There was many celebrations, and they were determined that the next night they would set out to battle the Spider Folk. Unfortunately, they were kidnapped while resting and dropped off in the caves of the Skinless. And while he was in town, Adam he grew very determined, one might say, to get flying swords and to be able to float, as the Black Knight had previously been able to do, at which point he was told that he would need to torture wizards, become a dark ruler, and it would take several decades. But ignoring all of that, he thought he could get it done in one night. and tried to torture a wizard, only it didn't quite work out for him. Inside the caves of the Skinless, that same wizard showed up. His name was Peter Nutter, and he was ready to chat, and he was skinless at the time, and then Adam ate him, and the group escaped alongside Werner Herzog and made their way back to town. But tragically, Werner was kidnapped by the enemies and dragged back into the caves, and our heroes, instead of leaving the German nihilist film director behind, went back into the caves to try to rescue him. Tragically, he was used as a human shield by Adam and was killed. And Adam's squire also died because Adam kept ordering the squire to stay inside a boiling cauldron of blood to help fight instead of sparing its life. The rest of the band helped achieve victory under this circumstance, and Tyler managed to dip his crown in a cauldron of boiling blood. There was a laurel crown of leaves, but when he put it on his head, it she-hulked him. Tyler's green now. He's got big horns. He's got flowing black hair. He has a creepy pinky that he can take off and on and do magical things with, and he has some other magic of his own, but he has been ineffably changed by the evil of Ravenloft. Freaked out by Adam's immediate snacking on Werner's brains in a style of what Adam said was a Boston cream donut, just dipping fingers through the eyes, and I think Tyler called it a literal crime to do that to a donut. The party turned on themselves and actually almost all died trying to fight Adam, who escaped completely unharmed, and then went back to town. They then went to face off with the spider folk, only to discover that they had been turned into lizard folk. The Dark One was furious with their successes and had changed things out. So they were on their way when Guy, now having renamed himself Shadow Rogue, was taken by Ezra. Ezra put on a puppet show at a shadow realm for Shadow Rogue. Oh, so many shadows. Wow. And got about 40% of his life right. Otherwise, he came back very confused about his relationship with Tyler, but they managed to sort things out with a trust fall. On the way to the Lizard Folks Pyramid, they were forced to travel by boat, and luckily, Guy had been replaced by the entire group's friend, comedian Kat Letwin, who was horrified to be in the realm, but ironically knew a ton about boats. So Kat became the captain of the boat, driving them out to the pyramids, taught Del how to run things. Could we say shipped? Maybe a little bit. But they made their way to the pyramid, made their way up, and then fought the mayor of the lizard folk, as they decided to call it. In the end, Del claimed the reality blade, which turned out to be a small stylus that would allow to carve and cut into the air, which was a natural combination with Del's artistic talents. And also, she can just draw a big old blade on that thing, and it becomes a sword. Having defeated these three enemies, our heroes returned to town, at which point Adam, along the way, had... There's a lot of personal growth for Adam over this. Declared himself Shadow Nemesis, sworn himself to evil, got really drunk. Peter Nutter, who he'd eaten's daughter, showed up. Her name was Hazel Nutter. Adam declared her to be his daughter, then adopted her, then renamed her Jimmy, then renamed her Shadow Jimmy. He also found a new squire after his dead one, so that one's been following him around, and that name keeps getting longer as time goes on. And he declared them both his children. So he now has an evil family that he is training in evil, and Hazel did not figure out, despite several people telling her, that Adam was in fact the person who murdered Hazel's father. So they made their way back to town, and everyone trained in specific skills because they had a week before they needed to face off with the Dark One. So Tyler became a blade singer, a combination of a wizard and an ass-kicking fighter by being beaten up by functionally just a homeless, crazy man in an alley, hitting Tyler until he did magic by accident. Shadow Rogue became New Rogue at the end of his training to become a cleric of Ezra, having dedicated his soul to the god that is helping the group and helping his friends. Shadow Nemesis became Shaddam. His plan, thinking Ezra is the ultimate evil of this situation, is to wait it out, gain more power, and then battle against the god. Doesn't know how he's going to win, figures he'll win Del over at some point, and Del will figure out that part of the plan. Del trained to become a bard under a theoretical bard who said if he could draw magic, it would be very good. Only Del could draw magic. It was very good, and she basically led a political revolution among the bards to oust their leader. At the end of this week of celebration, the two members of Adam's family, Shadow Jimmy and the great wizard illusionist Omega Sergeant of Shadows and Magic, were trained as wizards. And Tyler managed to convince Hazel that Adam killed her dad, only Adam did an elaborate plot involving several forged letters and convinced everyone, both of his children and the head of the Wizard Guild, that Tyler was the true villain who was betraying him, and Peter Nutter was just off on a secret mission and couldn't talk to anyone and won't be able to talk to anyone, but he's always watching, and Tyler is evil. There was a performance by the Vistani. They went and saw a play that turned out to be Quantum Mania. Adam bullied the new mayor of town, Paul Rudd. Then the town was attacked by the Clockwork Watch, which turned out to be the Dark One, is not just some shadowy figure. It is Judge Frederick Karma, a judge who had grown powerful and megalomaniacal after giving the death penalty the first time. His own town watch had turned against him, so he created a cybernetic clockwork watch that would enforce his whims. And he kidnapped our hero's closest friends and brought them in as bail that he would sacrifice if they did not turn themselves in to trial. Trying to come up with clever plans, Tyler and Dell went to find a local lawyer to try to figure out if there was a way they could get out of this legally, while Shadow, at the time, was charmed by his symbiote because he had to eat a member of the Travelers of the Feather because the symbiote hate that group. So he was trying to make a bargain with the symbiote and got charmed. So he ate the person, and then because the symbiote Shadow Master happens to like Dell and think Dell is the good friend, Dell told Adam to be a person, and he had to for 12 hours. Adam and New Rogue both went to try to find fake weapons to fake their way into the castle. Everyone shit the bed completely. Tyler was cornered by an insane lawyer and learned nothing. And Shadow and New Rogue received no weapons. Also, New Rogue deeply offended a dwarf by melting all of his family heirlooms. And Shadow robbed him with vague success. Forced to go to the palace with no plan whatsoever, our heroes, through a massive stroke of luck, managed to hide their weapons inside, at this point, Shadow Nemesis's bag of holding, because having recovered a Nemesis weapon, Shadow changed his name to Shadow Nemesis again. Then they entered. They went through a trial that was heavily rigged against them, attempted their own defense, and in the end, Shadow Nemesis was offered a place as the official Black Knight and an entire army of squires should he betray his friends and join Judge Dredd, who feeds off of fear. And he gave a delightful speech, and none of us knew how it was going to end, at which point he attacked the judge, and it has dissolved. Things have devolved into a massive combat inside the courtroom, where they are surrounded by an unholy and unseeable darkness, where Tyler managed to stumble into Adam and discover that he could see because the Black Knight's helm was lighting the path for him, and Shadow Nemesis could also see through that. But they had just been hit by a wave of magic as the judge had absorbed all of his pages, these spooky shadow people, and blasted out a new wave of magic. And that is where we stand in the combat.
Super.
3 of you are blasted off your feet into your worst nightmares by Judge Dredd and the power that he extends through the darkness. Dell.
Yeah.
What is the dream that this would throw you into as you collapse to the ground? What is the thing that would create the most fear for you to be kind of trapped in?
Mm-hmm. It's just endless amounts of people coming up to me, asking me to do things and or mad at me that I didn't do something. So it's just people, didn't you finish that thing? Didn't you do that? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then telling other people, oh my gosh, Dell can't figure out anything. All these people,
Shit.
just endless people being mad at me and having tasks for me endlessly.
Yep, you are just seeing a wave of unfinished jobs and devastation and fury just surrounding you, to the point where you're seeing hands over hands and faces over faces. It is a World War Z level intensity of people running towards you with things they have needed done. And you were stuck in the center of that. New Rogue, what is your nightmare? You have a much more limited experience of the world than the rest of your companions who have full lives in their memory. What is the nightmare that you find yourself in?
So it's a swirling vortex of not knowing myself, but the only glimmering light I have is, this God that resurrected me. Seeing all these new friends, I guess it's a twofer. One is all of them leaving me, so I'm back to being, myself with nobody that seems to know who I am. And while that's refreshing and tempting, the other one and the primary driver is that Tyler is able to become best buds with Ezra, and basically I have I'm just completely censored from even getting anything I want. So it's basically I lose people, and somebody else who I cherish, who's a non-believer, basically becomes the the voice, if you will, of Ezra, his second in command. So that's all I really have right now. Somebody else taking my place.
Yeah, so you are trapped in a nightmare where you have no mouth. Your mouth is sealed shut. And you are unable to speak, and you are just seeing your friends turn away from you, to seeing Shadow Nemesis turn towards evil, seeing Dell just finally have enough, and its door slamming in your face. And at the same time, you can't feel Ezra's light. And you can see Ezra in the distance, just hand in hand with Tyler, just skipping along towards the sunlight, and another door closes and you can't get there. And then you're just being drawn further and further away from that safety and that love that you crave.
Oh, that's not fair.
Shadow Nemesis, what is your dream that you find yourself in, your nightmare that is causing the most fear inside you?
Right. I think so. I think because my need to wear these different helmets, whether it's like RoboCop or Shadow Nemesis, comes from confidence issues. I can't be myself. I have to be somebody else. And that stems from a teacher I had in grade 4 called Mrs. Morton. And she hated me. And no matter what I did, I tried my best in class. She always just singled me out. My brother had her as a teacher. And so she'd always be like, your brother never acted this way. Like, your brother was able to get his 8 times tables, and just daily shits, just like right on my head. Not literally, but yeah. So I'd say I'm like a miniature, like childlike version of me with like my helmet on and like little like cartoony, like round red eyes. And it's just Miss Morton, like hovering over me, just bashing me.
Yep. And that's happening, and you're absolutely despising it. And at the same time as it happens, you see a necklace dangling from her chest, and you see the symbol of the Travelers of the Feather. And Shadow Master inside you is just like, "We're not strong enough. She's gonna kill us." And both of you are stuck in your nightmare together, you and Shadow Master.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, you are standing outside of this madness. And as your friends collapse, you actually feel Shadow Nemesis. Instead of falling next to you, there's a moment where you lose connection and you find yourself fully in the darkness.
Yep.
Except Shadow Nemesis falls on your foot. And the moment you feel his body hit your foot, the light from his helm lights up the room again, and you can see. You also have not been affected by this magic in any way. You are fully conscious. You are yourself. You are, you've got a lot of spooky successes coming in. I hope this is going to be fun.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't try to do anything.
So you are still connected and now can see around the room what is happening. And you look over and see Dell just twitching along with everyone else. Dell, you are twitching. You are trapped in this nightmare of people asking questions of you. You are seeing among the living and the more mundane tasks, the fear inside you is growing greater and greater. And you can start to see the dead, those who've died that you have been forced to kill, those who've died along the way, the people that your group didn't manage to save in these combats moving towards you. Is there anything you would say? How would you try to push back against this encroaching wave of fear?
Oh, man. Yeah, it would be trying to physically escape and then realizing it's just a wall of hands and people. And just, look, I can't do it. I'm trying my best. I can't do all of this. I can't. I know. I'm trying to help everybody. I don't have enough. I can't. Please.
And you try to set healthy boundaries and push back with what would be a charisma save. But the mists swirl up around your body. Can you roll me a d6?
Okay, chat. And it's a 3.
It's a 3. You try to escape, you try to set boundaries, and then you see you are getting away from the living, but now it's the dead. Now it's those who've been lost. Now it's Werner, it's Peter Nutter, it's these ghosts, and they're not just shaking you and demanding things of you. You're seeing their hands reach through your body and squeeze your heart and other things. So it's just arcing, freezing pain and terror writhing through you. And you will take... You will take 2 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And you remain trapped inside the nightmare. Shadow Nemesis. You are also trapped within your greatest fear with Mrs. Morton standing over you, taunting you. A traveler of the feather and a teacher at the same time. What do you do to try to resist this dream? What do you do to try to push back?
God. She's asking me to do my 8 times tables, and so I'm doing them to try to prove to her that I can do them.
Great. You're trying to do math, just relying on that. Shadow Master, maybe a help, maybe a hindrance. You have this moment of trying to push back with your charisma saving throw. Normally, I would immediately make this a spooky success, but you are in a rare circumstance. Within your dream, you see forming in front of you horns, just glowing gold-lit horns that match Tyler's horns as expressed on his head. And you realize in the dream you also have those horns and you can take power from them. Can you roll me a charisma saving throw with advantage?
Ooh, okay. Charisma saving. Oh, charisma's like +5. All right.
Hell yeah.
With advantage. That's a total of 20.
20.
Yes.
You snap out of this nightmare. You push forwards, you nail those 8 times tables, and then your horns just slash across her as Shadow Master sprays black goo, and you find yourself waking up in reality, laying at Tyler's feet. You are touching him. You look up and see his horns glowing. That same unearthly glow, not that you knew, but that Tyler saw from your helm. When you look up, you can see from his horns, and you can see it trailing down his body to where it is in contact with you. What do you do?
I sit up and I go like 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Wait. I'm free. Okay, I touch Tyler again as I sit up. And I guess so Tyler can like see now. And I was like, Tyler, I don't know where I went. I went to some nightmare realm with Miss Morton, but I think you are the cure to get us out of our nightmare realms.
Okay, so
we got to drag everybody over to you, and you got to touch them.
Yeah, you fix the darkness. I fix the dream thing you're having. That means that whatever happens next is going to be Dell. We need to get this to her. I have the reality blade. We got to wake her up. We got to get this to her.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about Guy. We just have to worry about
well, no,
Dell.
We should worry about Guy also, but like, there's a pattern emerging here, so we can be ready. Maybe we can turn this thing around. Come on, come with me. Don't let go. Come with me.
All right, well, let's get Dell first.
Yes.
And then, yes, I think that is the priority. Let's get Dell first, and then we can worry about Guy.
Okay, so Shadow Nemesis, I will let you move and bring Tyler with you, but that will take your move and your action, because your action is kind of, Mr. Presidenting Tyler across the room to where Dell is under the defense table. Is your plan to like push Tyler down to where Dell is, to like make Tyler tag her with a foot? Like, what does this look like when you are finished?
Yeah, I mean, I realize that all you have to do is basically just like touch Tyler. So I think I just want to grab Dell's hand and just like slap it on his leg, kind of thing. Just like walk over and then bend down and just, slap her hand on his foot or something.
Great. You successfully do that. So you take her hand and slap it onto Tyler's body. New Rogue, you are trapped in your nightmare, being abandoned by Ezra and abandoned by all of your friends. How are you trying to push back against this?
Well, I think I will again. It was going to be close to Adam's thing. I'm trying to come to some sort of idea to try and impress Ezra, but I'm waking upon some sort of epiphany that I kind of have to go as my name alludes to. I kind of have to go my own way, because perhaps by being too needy, I'm pushing Ezra and them away. So I think what I have to do is forge my own path out of this void and just make sure I go in darkness and don't get so worried that I'm leaving everybody behind.
So turning away from the closing doors and walking into the void, you try to break your way out of this nightmare. Can you roll me a charisma save?
Okay.
Try your 9 times tables.
Oh, man. I'm just trying to see what my charisma is too. Where is it?
So
okay.
Saves, it's going to be a different value potentially.
Okay. So it's rolling my 20 and then adding the charisma on it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. Oh boy. 7.
7. Unfortunately, as you walk into the dark, the nightmare is just too powerful. You feel Ezra's light leaving you, and you realize now it's not only people walking away from you. You have nothing. You are nothing. You walked away from the only thing that mattered, and now there's no one to save you. And you're just having a complete terrified meltdown in the darkness.
Oh,
and
God!
You take 4 points of psychic damage.
What? 4?
Jesus.
Yep.
Why won't anybody save me?
From the outside, Tyler and Shadow Nemesis, can you both roll me perception?
Right. Perception.
11.
14.
14. Tyler, you're focused on what's going on. You are trying to stay in contact with people. You're in this strange black and white nightmare world. Shadow Nemesis, you look up and see that as your friends remain twitching and terrified in these dreams, and you can see their terror increasing, the judge behind the desk is growing younger and hardier and more hale. You've seen this very gaunt, old, terrifying figure, only he's starting to fill out. His teeth are starting to grow more straight. He's starting to look stronger and more powerful and more domineering.
Wait till we turn into a baby, then we strike.
You want fear? Take it all. Squish. Yay!
All right.
Fatality.
The bailiff.
Fatality.
The bailiff, who is completely blind in the darkness and not the smartest. I'm rolling to see where the bailiff storming around swinging things goes in the room. I've broken the room down into 8 different sections. We're starting at it's the prosecution table that he smashed through and destroyed the shadow prosecutor. So we'll see where the bailiff goes. The bailiff storms towards the judge's box and takes a swing at the judge.
Yay!
Yay!
His bailiff rules.
Take that, baby.
And the bailiff absolutely lands a hit. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
This is it.
The bailiff does. The bailiff before the judge's superpowers kicks in would have done 16 damage. So the bailiff does significant damage to the judge.
We don't want to fight that.
God damn.
Wow.
16 damage?
And the judge just yells, "You fool! You were meant to serve me!" And he reaches out and just smashes his hand across, just totally slaps this bailiff. But you see huge rents appear in the bailiff's face as the bailiff gets spun around and shoved towards you. So the bailiff is now bleeding extensively from his face, having taken a boatload more damage himself. And is being shoved in your direction. Tyler, you can see that, and so can Shadow Nemesis. Tyler, it is your turn. What do you do?
Shadow Nemesis kind of seemed to wake up on his own, but to hear him tell it was because he was touching me. He saw some sort of connection from my horns down through my body into him. So I will lower down into a crouch with a hand on his back, and then I'll just place my hand on Dell's shoulder as she's lying there. And I don't know, maybe just to kind of kick it up a notch, stoop my head down and have my horn touch her forehead and be like, "Come on, Dell, get up. You got to get up, Dell. Get up. Get up."
Great. You are attempting to use the powers, the gifts that you have been given to assist in this desperate battle. And as you feel your horn touch down, you feel the mist swirl up around you.
Oh, no.
Can you roll
Add
me a
you a thing.
d6?
Oh, the horns are going through her head. That's it.
Yep.
That's-
Either it works or, yeah, Dell gets to wear a cool eye patch. All right. It's eye patched. That's a 3.
Tyler, you've leaned down to use your powers. As you do so, what you don't realize, you lean down and you also block the view of Shadow Nemesis to the judge. And that's when the bailiff runs forward and just swings the axe down, perfectly aligned with where you are. Having leaned forwards, you are fully exposed. So the bailiff, despite the darkness, will have advantage on this attack.
Do I have an opportunity for a reaction here, or am I so involved in my process that I don't get a shot?
What are you trying to use? Are you thinking of a magical reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're too involved for that this time, sadly. So the bailiff's strike will land because that's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And it will do... It will do 8 points of damage to you with the strike.
I'll take that over 16.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not well.
So Tyler takes an axe deep into the back, just
Adam,
carving,
man alive will not for long.
thunking into his rib cage. Shadow Nemesis, when you look up, you can just see the top of the axe. The same way that axe had stabbed into the floor outside the building when the bailiff had struck. It is now that deep inside Tyler's torso, inches from your face.
Oh.
Yikes, that was a close one.
And that is the point where the judge raises a bony hand and says, "Executioner, the sentence is death." And you both look over and see the executioner raise his scythe from off the floor and start stalking towards you, ready to swing. The executioner has joined combat and is storming forwards and will be attacking one of you randomly because the executioner can't see very much. That is unfortunately Tyler. So the executioner is storming forwards, swinging their massive scythe. They have disadvantage because they are unable to see, as everyone is here. And that will be 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
But Tyler, you are able to see, and this is not being affected by the spooky success. So if you wanted to use a reaction, that would be allowed.
Thank you. But I think with an axe in my chest, maybe I'm disqualified from reacting.
I leave that fully up to you.
Yeah, I just can't imagine being in any kind of position to be like, ha, with a little bit of magic to defend.
I would say let's do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Because this is a question of, has Tyler Hecklin trained your reactions sharply enough, no matter how hurt you are, to use instinctive magic or not? Because yes, if it was just Tyler, like, I'm going to do a clever little spell, this would not be a moment where I believe that would happen. But you have had the shit kicked out of you and been healed with healing potions all week.
Wisdom save. That's a total of 4. Muchacho.
Total of 4. Then, no, you do not get anything with the wisdom save. No. You are struck and take... take 6 more points of damage.
Okay.
As a scythe carves down and stabs deep into your torso before being hauled back out again.
Alrighty. Then my body just kind of does whatever gravity wants it to do at that point. I am unconscious, not deceased though. Actually, if it had done 10 points of damage, I would have just been dead, like a corpse.
So Tyler is unconscious. And one of the most important questions possible is, does he fall still in contact with his friends? Or does he fall no longer in contact with anyone? And this is a point when the mists swirl up from beneath, cushioning his fall. Tyler, can you roll me a d6?
Thanks for cushioning my fall, mists. D6. Guess what number it is? It's a fucking 3.
Tyler falls, touching no one. Tyler falls just to the side, away from everyone. The judge summoned the executioner this round.
Great.
Del, you were trapped inside your nightmare with ghosts reaching into your body and trying to pull your soul out. You are absolutely terrified and panicked. What do you do to try to escape this dream?
Oh man, at this point, it's curl up into a ball in that position, hands overhead, and just eyes closed, and try to just. I'm not seeing any of this. I can't see you. You can't see me, and just trying to like go inside of myself. Of like, that's the only escape now.
All right, you are curled up into a ball. You are inside yourself. You are trying to escape now. You're determined to get out of this dream. And that's when the mists come up and swirl around you, just fueling the emotions you were feeling. Roll me a d6.
I'm getting a different d6. This is a different one. Let's see. It's a 2.
Switch back.
Good night, everybody.
It's worse.
Del, you stay trapped inside this dream. You can't actually escape deeply enough. And this is when you sink inside yourself and the ghosts follow you.
Oh, no.
You are now falling eternally in the darkness with ghosts screaming towards you about what you owe them and the things you have left undone. And you will take 1 point of psychic damage.
Oh, that's very lucky. All right. I'm not doing well.
Shadow Nemesis. All of your friends are down. Tyler is brutally injured. To your left, you see New Rogue trapped in a nightmare state. To your right, you see Del also trapped inside a nightmare. You are the only person who is able to see and is conscious. What do you do?
So I'm guessing I wasn't able to get Del to touch Tyler.
You had got them in contact. Unfortunately, when Tyler was attacked and fell unconscious, he fell away from Del. So it's like his arm came off. But he's there. You could move his arm onto Del.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he's like right next to her. So so I see the executioner who can't see me. No one can see me. I'm just freaking John Cena over here. And so what I'll do is I'll put Tyler's hand on Del.
Okay.
And then just like take a hand, slap on the forehead. Then do I know which one of Tyler's pinkies can come off? I think I would know. Have I seen Tyler do this?
You have
In a rat
seen
fight.
him mention doing it once. I would accept either a perception if you had been watching to like try to recognize the pinky, or I would accept an arcana if you were just trying to use your like magical evil senses to sense where it is.
I'll go perception.
Great.
I feel that during that rat fight, if I saw somebody just like pull a finger off and toss it, I'd be like, that was weird. So like, I'll try that. And my perception, 0. And my arcana is -1, so I chose the right one. Okay.
There you go.
All right. That is a total of 14.
14. Yep. You can tell which pinky. You look down and you can just see that the joint is a little bit discolored compared to the rest. It's a darker green.
All right. I want to pull off the pinky, and I kind of want to 3-pointer it to land on Guy to see if that'll like get him going. Like, is it just touching anything at Tyler, like body parts that aren't attached? So I'm going to try to hit Guy with the finger, and then I guess
that's going to be its own thing, baby. So, all right. You are throwing the finger. Let's make this a ranged attack. We will add +4 to it because that's what your usual stats are. And you are in a rage or are not in a rage currently? I think you're in a rage.
I went berserker and I attacked the.
How does that affect your attacks?
Let's read this sheet. What does it say? Rage. I guess I'm in a rage. Is that it?
Oh yeah, you're in a rage, baby.
Okay. It lasts a minute. You gain advantage on strength checks. Can I just really throw that finger hard? Like, strength.
I would say to give you a bit of a devil's bargain, you can use strength, but it might hurt New Rogue getting hit with the finger.
My finger in his head. What else does it say? You gain resistance to bludgeon, piercing, and slashing damage, and take half damage from all of them.
Yeah, so that's worth knowing. If somebody hits you, you're taking half damage while you're raging. And
and I get +2 damage to melee attacks. Okay, all right.
Alrighty, so roll that attack. Throw it as hard as you can. You're so full of fury. Do you yell anything as you throw this finger?
I go finger, and I like throw it like a dart.
Great. Let's roll that. So you've got what advantage on the strength check for this? I'll shift it into check range as opposed to
gain advantage on strength.
Yep.
Okay.
So you get to roll with advantage.
All right. Let's see. Oh, thank you for advantage. Strength. Oh, where's my strength? Is it a saving throw? Is that right? No.
No. We'll say it's an athletics check because that'll get.
Oh, I see. Oh, athletics. Okay, so +2, so 13 total.
13 total. It would not do damage, but a 13 will hit. So the finger just gets thrown, and the sharpened nail just plugs into New Rogue's armor, and the finger sticks like a dart.
Right in his ear. I kind of like wet willy it, and I go right in the ear.
Okay, it's in the ear. Well, that means it goes past your armor. So let me roll the damage. Just a second.
No, it's being funny.
It'll do 1 point of damage.
Okay, it was worth it. Okay.
Wait, what?
New Rogue, you just feel a dart of pain in your ear inside your nightmare as you are falling into the void. How do you try to escape this nightmare?
So I have no mouth. So I'm desperate to just scream, do some kind of incantation, do some kind of spell, at least ask for friends. So basically I withdraw like one of my arrows and I just puncture my mouth and tear it open. Just because I'm so desperate.
Yep.
And then I'm like, I need sanctuary from this. Help me. Somebody please help me.
And that is the moment you grow glowing horns, just like Tyler, just like Ezra had when you saw Ezra skipping away with Tyler. Roll your charisma save with advantage.
Oh, God. Well, here goes nothing, I guess. Well, that's not going to do nothing either. So, holy Jesus. Okay. Oh, wait.
Buddy, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. I had that upside down. 11.
11. Fuck. Nope, you're stuck. You feel the horns glowing around you, and you feel hope, but unfortunately, you are still trapped in this nightmare. You take 1 more point of damage.
Oh, my God.
And at that point, it is the bailiff's turn. Where does the bailiff go? Stomping around.
One executioner.
The bailiff, unsure of what is happening, climbs onto a table, jumps up and hits the ceiling with a weapon, and then falls to the ground. The bailiff thought somebody was directly above them, so the bailiff is not contributing greatly.
Cool.
Up next,
50 points of damage.
Yep. Tyler, I need a death saving throw from you.
Yeah.
Oh, what about your watch?
The watch is in reserve. Although I might need to use it. That's a 4, so that's my first failure.
That's your first failure as you continue to bleed out laying on the floor.
So now if I hit a 1, I'm hit.
The judge is watching, laughing maniacally, just and you are seeing him just growing younger and more powerful. He was clearly injured by the bailiff and is slowly building back up to where he was. But Shadow Nemesis, you can see that the fear coming out of your friends is fueling him. And then the executioner, who cannot see, ends up drawing the scythe out and spinning around and hacking again and attacking the jury box. Or sorry, the witness stand, which is smashed. So the witness stand is now removed from my possible locations they can attack, but no attack against the party this turn, which means Del.
Yeah.
You are trapped inside a nightmare. You are falling, but you feel yourself grow horns, and you can see in front of you that you have glowing horns that match Tyler's. And for the first time, you feel a glimmer of hope. How do you try to get out of this dream?
at this point now, finally, because I couldn't escape inside of myself and the ghost came in, now I'm trying to fight the ghosts. I'm trying to just punch ghosts.
Great. So you were trying to Superman, just spin in place and fly forwards to punch ghosts. Can you roll me a charisma save with advantage?
Okay. That is a 19. 19.
Del, you punch through this whole wave of ghosts and punch right back to reality and wake up with a gasp under the table. You were conscious. You have Adam is touching Tyler, who's touching you. You can see.
Okay.
So you can look up and you see in this unnatural darkness, you see the Black Knight helm glowing. And you can see the scene around you in black and white. You can see that Tyler's bleeding out. Shadow Nemesis is ducking. Monsters are attacking. The judge is laughing maniacally. New Rogue is down and twitching in fear. What do you do?
Oh, man. I see Tyler just hurt and not moving.
Yep.
I'm just, no, Tyler, you can't leave. And I cast Healing Word on Tyler.
Oh, great. How does Healing Word work?
Healing Word is a creature of my choice I can see within 60 feet gains hit points 1d4 plus spellcasting ability modifier.
Great. Is it, do you have to say something? I'm imagining for Healing Word.
It's just verbal.
So what is your Healing Word, Del? What do you say?
It was like, you can't leave.
A nice healing command.
Yeah.
And you get 4 HP.
Yay!
Little baby.
All right. Tyler, you are conscious with 4 HP.
And that was my bonus action.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, then you still have a movement and an action, Del. What do you want to do?
I don't think I'm going to move. I'm going to stay down here. And I'm looking around, and there's the guy swinging a scythe over in the corner.
He is. So there is the executioner swinging a scythe who is facing away from you, having just demolished the witness stand. There's the bailiff standing in the center of the well of the court, having just smashed a huge hole in the ceiling, and the judge is laughing maniacally in his position behind the desk. The pages are gone. Okay. You don't see any of those shadow people. Clearly, the judge has fueled his magic using them. Yeah. New Rogue is unconscious to your left. So it's kind of like you. Then directly next to you is Tyler. Shadow Nemesis touching Tyler, who is touching you. And then New Rogue is like 3 feet to the left of your little group under this table, unconscious and twitching, looking very, very afraid.
Okay. Does she see what I'm clutching in my hand?
Yes, she could see that.
I am holding the reality blade.
Okay. I'm not moving, and I'm still just touching Tyler, and I'm not even realizing that. I'm just looking up at the 2 attackers, and I see the guy with bloody axe.
Yep.
I assume. So I'm just gonna yell at him and be like, "Hey, you stupid shit! Fuck off! Your weapon sucks!" And I cast Vicious Mockery on the bailiff.
Okay. How does it work? How does he defend himself?
The target must be able to hear me.
Yep.
And then it must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. What's the DC?
13.
The bailiff fails.
All right. So now it takes 1 point of damage, but it has disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Okay. So the bailiff has disadvantage.
That's all I got here.
And took 1 point of damage. You just hear the bailiff be like, "No, good." He's just totally panicked. Shadow Nemesis. You stand. Del is now conscious as a part of this chain of people in contact with one another. Tyler has been healed to the point that he is conscious once again. New Rogue is still unconscious, and enemies are within range. You are raging. And I'm going to ask you what you're going to do right after this commercial break.
No.
Shadow Nemesis, what do you want to do?
So I'm kneeling next to everybody. Tyler's, I guess, kind of like still on the ground. Del, you're also kind of kneeling. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm in a rage, so my eyes are just like blazing red, and I just start barking orders. I'm just like, Tyler, give Del the reality blade, then drink a potion, then grab your sword and attack that scythe guy over there. Del, create like a friggin' bazooka or something, blast the judge. I'm going to attack that thing that can't see us with the axe. Go! And I just two-hand axe fly at the bailiff.
Great. Adam launches himself away from the two of you as Shadow Nemesis goes to attack the bailiff. The bailiff cannot see. You have advantage on this strike, Shadow Nemesis. Roll your attack.
All right, okay. Okay, that is battle axe +4. Oh, do I get more if it's it's the damage?
Yeah, it's damage. But you've got advantage on this attack. So roll twice and you should.
Okay. 15 total.
15 total will hit. Meets it, beats it, buddy. You land a solid blow. Now you are rolling 1d10 plus your regular bonus plus an additional 2 because you are raging.
Oh, so like a d10 +4. Oh,
yeah, there we go.
All right. Math. All right. Let me just... I'll use my new evil dice. Let's see what that does.
Ooh.
I guess that's 8 total then.
8 total. You cleave through the spine of the bailiff. And with a sickening crunch, the bailiff falls and says, "Not good. Oh, my name was Leto Atreides." And he died. Just dead as hell. The bailiff is dead. And the next turn is New Rogue, who is in his nightmare. New Rogue. Everything is going bad. You have horns. There's a glimmer of hope, but you're trapped. What do you do?
Well, nothing's worked so far, and I have very little experience that I can pull from outside of recent experience. So I'm going to have to keep going to that well of reference. And I'm thinking back to Mad About You, the bottle episode. I'm stuck in the same place. When they're stuck in that bathroom, they can't get out. So I'm just trying to think on the positive side. Well, this is just like that time where I was attacked by a monster in a nightmare and I couldn't bond with Ezra. And I'm trying to laugh to myself. And I'm hoping that this joy that I have lets me ride out this nightmare.
Great. Roll me a charisma save with advantage.
I'm going to roll 2 at a time. That can't screw me over, can it? Okay, that's a 15.
15. You wake up. You have a razor-sharp finger jammed in your ear. You can't see anything because it's too dark. You are heavily injured, but you are conscious. You can hear the sounds of combat around you. You hear the bailiff yell, "My name was Leto Atreides," and die. What do you do?
It's a good question. So I can't see anything. Correct. Last time I shot guiding bolt. Roughly how do I hear people though around me? I hear Shadow Nemesis.
If you want to roll me a perception, we can see exactly what you can hear to try to position.
I would love to.
You will be doing it at disadvantage because you have a finger in your ear.
Oh God! Sorry. Damn it! Who threw this?
Tyler.
Okay, that's a. Sorry about this. Always takes me a million years. Where are you? Perception? There we are. Oh well, it's nothing. It's a 12.
12. You can tell that the battle and the fighting is going on in front of you. You've woken up facing towards the judge's side of the room, but that's all you're going to get. You can't place anyone super specifically, but it does give you kind of this 180 degrees. Things are happening. There seems to be nothing behind you.
Okay, well then this is what I'm going to do. I am going to. Can I use detect magic? It's for the duration. Which is 10 minutes. You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. And you learn its school of magic, if any.
That is clever as hell. And yes, that will work.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys.
So I will roll this, I guess.
Do you have to roll anything? What does it tell you you've got to do?
Oh, wait, it's to detect magic? No, it just says one action for casting time and range, self, components, VNS.
You just detect magic. So by detecting magic, can you roll me a religion? I'm just going to see how overall effective this is, because we have some artifacts, we have some other things, so I want to know what's...
Do I get an advantage because I'm so good?
You will get an advantage because you were holding onto Tyler's finger, so there is still some group enhancement going on.
Thank you, advantage. That's a 13.
Great. You can sense exactly where the judge is positioned. You can sense where Shadow Nemesis is standing at the center of the room over a body, because you can sense the Black Knight's helm. And you can sense where Dell is under the defense table, because Dell is holding the reality blade, and you can sense the reality blade.
Okay. Then, let's see here. I'm torn. This is how I'm torn. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use command on the judge.
Unfortunately, you've already used your action to cast Detect Magic. So you can move, or you can do anything that requires a bonus action.
How do I know if it requires if I can use a bonus action?
If you are looking at any of your spell cards, they will say casting, like it'll say bonus action on them.
Oh.
Yeah, casting time is bonus action or one action.
Oh, I see. It will say there will be like a B on there. All right. Well, that was good. I'm going to move closer to the party because they can protect me.
Great.
While still keeping a firm view of Monster Mash.
Great. The reality blade is under the defense table, and the Black Knight's helm is standing towards the judge. Which do you approach?
Oh, reality blade.
Great. So you were going.
I strangled a guy and won that reality blade for Dell. Remember?
Strangled someone so hard they exploded.
Yeah.
New Rogue, you move forwards and creep under the table, and you find yourself bumping into Tyler and Dell. He appears next to you. Tyler and Dell, Shadow Nemesis gave you a very distinct plan, and then the moment he stepped away, you were both plunged into total darkness and are unable to see.
Oh, fuck, not again.
And a moment later, New Rogue just slams into both of you, running over to join you. Do any of you say anything to
Hey guys, what's up? How's it going?
Oh, okay, do rock. Oh god, I got so scared.
But we're both low to the ground, right? I collapsed and Dell
Correct.
was a nightmare. Did you get up, Dell?
No, I'm like crouched over you.
So does Shadow Rogue run into us feet first?
No.
Oh, that's a good question. No, he would.
I'm good. I crouched.
Can you both roll me dexterity saves?
I'm going to kill us all. That's 12.
14.
12 and 14.
How high is it need to be?
What is your strength modifier, guy? Just in your strength column, what's the modifier?
Question. Yeah, I'm a +2.
+2. So the DC would be 12. So what did you both roll again?
You go, Dell.
14.
And I did 12.
14 and 12. Okay, you guys are fine. You meets it, you beats it. He was crawling forward with his hands, but he managed to hit you with his head rather than his hands this round. This round. So no damage for anyone. Is there anything you want to say to each other now that you've stumbled upon each other in the terrifying darkness?
Guy, new rogue, is that you?
Yeah. I was in a dream and I'm out of it now. And is there something in my ear?
I don't know. I can't see anything.
Yeah, I can't see either.
I had to shout out, fuck whoever you are now. We can't see without you. You have to come back.
Coming. I want to jump back, I guess.
I mean, that sounds like a cool thing to do on your turn, but it's Tyler's turn. Tyler, what are you doing?
I'll follow the rest of his order there and fumble around my code of convenience and try to blindly grasp for a potion patch to pull it off and manifest a potion to drink.
Great. You will successfully do that. So how much healing do you do for yourself with drinking your potion?
Potion is 1d4, I think. Plus something that I can't remember, but I'll take the 2.
I was going to say, I can look it up for you in a second. I got it here.
I'm 6. I'm a big boy.
Pulling out his giant tome.
Okay, so it's 6 you got?
Yeah, 6 is my total HP now.
Oh, okay. It said it was D4. I'm just going to make sure that we get the right value for the healing potion because I don't want that to get confused. Have to find where they keep the stuff.
Is it a potion of healing?
Yes, potion of healing.
It's a 2d4 plus 2. Just normal potion of healing.
2d4.
Do you want my coat?
It would be a normal healing potion. It wouldn't be a worse one. So
they only go up from there.
Great. 2d4 plus 2, Tyler. So you get a little more.
Juice. That's another 3 for a total of 5, and then plus 2 is 7.
Yeah.
I didn't even need that much because we're all level 1, but I'll take it.
But your wounds close, Tyler. Your axe wound shuts. You find yourself feeling hale, hearty, and energized, as though you were starting this combat for the first time all over again.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do, having drank that potion? You still have, theoretically, movement.
If I'm able to equip my target shield...
you do have access to the bag of holding. It was you that had it last. In there?
Okay. No, the bag of holding I think dropped to the ground or something like that, or was
it had slid over to your foot and then you'd taken something out of it, but it had slid over to your foot while you were by the table, so arguably it's within arm's reach.
Yeah.
But you want to take your shield off your back and get it out?
Take my shield off my back, and just have that. And then I'd like to rise. I don't want to go anywhere because hearing Shadow Nemesis say, like, I'm coming back, I want to be there for that, so I'm going to stay put.
Great. You stay put. You are with your friends. And that is when the judge says,
you think you can be a hero, do you, Black Knight? Standing alone. Alone you will die.
And another blast of magic washes out across the room. And 3 of you in the darkness, standing with glimmering horns, keep you safe. You are immune to the attack that is washing over you as you remain in touch with Tyler. But a raging barbarian collapses and falls into a nightmare, perhaps never to escape.
That's the end of this episode, listener, but next week you could become a watcher and affect the Jesters' adventures by joining our Twitch stream, which happens every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Toronto time. If you join our Twitch chat, you can give the cast magical items, name NPCs, and decide the events that shape Ravenloft. So, catch up on the story, follow Dum Dum Dice on Twitch, and join our weekly stream right away. Jesters of Ravenloft features the voices of players Tyler Hewitt, Borovic, Guy Bradford, and Adam McNamara, alongside Dungeon Master Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Jesters of Ravenloft's artwork was created by Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is Dark Mysterious Halloween Night by Sound Gallery by Dimitri Taras. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, whose music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. Now get out of here before the mist gets you too!
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Dio Vassis, Loki Burrito, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.